What's up, everybody? My name is Mario. I am a culinary nutrition grad from JU Denver, the beautiful and unique campus of JU Denver. I graduated in May 2014, and ever since then I've had the absolute pleasure of working here at Cornell University. So to give you a quick and better idea of what I've been doing throughout this past time here at Cornell, I've been working with the sports nutrition department with the sports nutritionist. And most importantly, I've been cooking for the Cornell wrestling team. A lot of people have been asking me lately if I've been having fun, and honestly, I have. It's been quite the experience, and it's been an incredible, so far, 4 months. So you may be wondering what the purpose of this video is, and what I really want to share with you guys is my experience here at Cornell throughout this time, and a couple of points that I think might be useful for all of you to hear in order to understand how a training table works, and also what you guys need to get from your culinary nutrition degree plus athletic performance cuisine in order to be better prepared for a real life setting.
Today's a beautiful day. I get to come into the kitchen and cook amazing stuff, really tasty stuff. So just to walk you through what I do, first off, I usually check my produce. I have an amazing CSA deal with Ithaca Organics, so I get 3 of these boxes every single week. This week I got really great produce, very seasonal, so it's very exciting to work with that. That's a daily challenge that I have, make the vegetables taste good and change it on a daily basis. So yeah, today's a beautiful day to work in the kitchen. I'm very excited. You guys are getting some good flank steak. It's been marinating overnight in miso. The miso marinade that I made. I just read over the weekend an amazing book, and they suggested to do that. So I said, why not? Let's try it. So yeah, great day to work compared to other days where I walk in here and I have no idea where my stuff is. So I think it's going to be a great day. So to continue on the day where the turkey was raw or frozen, I was an hour out from service and the turkey's internal temperature was 60. So this is a little part of my French bullshit that I have to deal with on a daily basis, just because I'm not here to check in my product, make sure it's thought out. The turkey didn't come in on time. Lots of stress, but somehow the turkey's cooked, made it happen. I asked for help and I got the help that I needed. So, good stuff. As long as you guys don't know about this stress, then we'll be fine.
So as you guys can see, I did a little mix and match there of different days, and some of the days I was upset, stressed. Another day I was extremely happy. So that's something that happens, every week. There's weeks that go awesome, there's weeks that go not so awesome, but that's part of working your own training table. So to give you guys a better idea of what I do on a daily basis, I basically go in at 2 p.m. to cook, and then I basically prep, cook, and deliver the meals to this house, which is a big house where most of the upperclassmen live, and then to the smaller house, which is where most of the underclassmen live. Prior to that, I also get to menu plan, so I write my own menu, food cost, and make sure that the correct order for the food is in. With that image in your guys' mind, let's start with the tips, the points that I think will be useful for you all to know, based on my experience, of course, and hopefully this will help you. Point number 1, if there is something that I need you guys to get from this video, if you're not going to get anything else out of it but this, I would like you guys to pay attention to this one point. And that is that first and foremost, all of us, you are a culinarian, and you are a dietitian, a nutritionist, nutrition major, whatever you want to call yourself. But you need to be proud to be part of the culinary nutrition program at Johnson & Wales, because that really gives us a really unique approach to our industry with a culinary background. We know how to handle both food and nutrition and make it tasty and make food tasty and nutritious, which is something that many dietitians don't have, a skill that they don't really possess. Going off of that first point, let's make this point 1.5 really. This might seem a little bit redundant, but in order to be in a training table, you need to know how to cook. Trust me, I didn't know myself as a cook when I came to Cornell. It was a challenge. It was something that I really didn't think about, thankfully, but that throughout these past months, I've been really discovering myself. And most importantly, I've lost the fear to the kitchen, and I've gained much more love for it. And I've lost that fear to experiment and to fail. Don't be afraid not to know at all. It's actually good that you know that you don't know everything. Ask questions, bother Chef Sachs, pick his brain, bother the guy right next to you to know that, or who pretends to cook, to know how to cook better. But don't be afraid to make something taste bad, especially in school, because once in a while it's a protected environment where you get to develop yourself, where you get to grow and you get to know yourself and develop these unique skills to become the unique dietitian, the unique culinary nutritionist that you're going to be down in the future. See, in a way, we're the lucky ones who kind of thought about this industry prior to it becoming cool. We're kind of hipster in a way. But what I mean by that is that our industry is growing and that there really is a demand for nutrition. So we really are ahead of the game. And just to give one last example of how my culinary background and my nutrition background has helped me, it was this really cool opportunity that came up a couple weeks ago where Coach called me on Wednesday. And some of the guys had told me that weekend there was going to be a recruitment dinner that I was cooked. So Coach called me on Wednesday and told me, hey Mario, we have a huge recruitment dinner happening on Friday and I want you to cook something. And I was like, okay, let's see this away. What's my budget? So he gave me my budget and I already had a lot to do. Well, I had to drop everything, menu plan, call him, tell him what the menu was going to consist of. And this didn't only be for 40 people. So I planned the menu, I costed it out. I went into the kitchen, into the facility where I work, and told them about this. So we had to put in the food order, and usually you want more than 2 days to order food, especially when you have steak. The next day, which was my day off, I came in at 12 o'clock, and some of the prior order was not what I had ordered, so it was just a lot of stress. But I made it happen in the sense that all these challenges were tests in a way that kind of showed me of my capacity to cook. And I was able to provide a tasteful and nutritious at the same time dinner for the recruits and for their parents. I cooked until 8 o'clock at night, almost 9. I prepped everything in the facility where I usually prep and cook the meals. And then I brought everything to the kitchen here at the house and I put on a show. I also thought about linens and made the house look a lot more fine dining like, and was able to provide that dinner that Coach had told me about 2 weeks or 2 days prior to it, which was awesome. It was a great experience and everyone was happy. And I spoke with Chef Sachs after that and I was so ecstatic about the entire thing. I told him about it and told him that it was a great experience, and it really made me realize that I had to grow as a cook. It's always great to see how much you can do without really thinking about it. To continue with the points, with the tips that I want to give you guys, this is the second point that I want to touch on. Everything that Chef Sachs teaches you in athletic performance cuisine is very important. Pay special attention to the first days in class where there's a focus on both the micro and macronutrients, so you can better explain these concepts later on to the athletes. But know that with time, practice, these concepts become clearer and clearer in your mind, and you can better explain them as time goes on. And yeah. Punto número 3. When Chef Sachs tells you that you have 20 minutes to meet and do a nutritional assessment on an athlete, he is not kidding. Clint, my boss, he does them all the time. really haven't timed him, but I mean, I can't do that because he's my boss. But nonetheless, his meetings with the athletes are very short, concise, straight to the point. And granted, Clint, he has a master's in exercise phys and has a lot of knowledge on M&T. So that's something that I've seen that you develop with time. So don't feel that because you don't get the case study that Chef X gives you in 20 minutes, you fail, you're not good at it. It's just time, practice, and knowledge building over that time span. Point number 4. So, you thought that Professor Smith's class was pointless. Wrong. I food cost every single day of the training table. It needs to be done. I actually use Professor Smith's costing cards every single day to food cost my food. That was redundant. Honestly, that class was by far one of the best classes that I've ever taken. So don't put that class down and don't think it's useless, because if you're going to a training table and you're in charge of it, you're definitely getting food cost. Point number 5. I think this is one of the points where I'm most prided to say this, but I have no boss in the kitchen. I am my own boss, which is pretty awesome. It adds to the fun of it. But I work with myself, by myself, for the rest of the house. So in a way, I don't have a chef that yells at me to taste my food. And that puts a lot of responsibility in my hands, much more than just going to the kitchen and putting the food that the chef has put there. It really puts things into perspective as to why details are so important. Now I don't only respond to myself, and even though I don't have a direct supervisor there in the kitchen, Clint is my boss here for the internship at Cornell. But I keep in mind that I have to respond to Clint, to coach of the wrestling team, to the wrestlers themselves, to Chef Sachs, to Johnston Wells, and to myself. So it's a lot of responsibility that adds up to my plate, and it really makes me want to do my job a lot better. It's been awesome to grow as a cook in that sense. So growing as a cook and growing personally and professionally is something that comes also with when you're dealing with your own training table, taking care of it, and that's also part of the fun. Point number 6, last but not least. As sports nutritionists, we also have a huge medical component to our degree, to our workflow. So you need to develop the proper and necessary clinical judgment from the base that M&T and advanced M&T gives you in order to better assess what an athlete may be going through. You guys need to be aware also that eating disorders are a huge thing in the sports world, especially for those sports where cutting weight is something of the nature of the sport. So to briefly recap on the points that I just went over, remember that first and foremost, you are a culinarian. Be comfortable in the kitchen, know how to cook, make mistakes, experiment, grow as a cook, and become the best version that you can become of yourself. Don't be afraid of failing. Lose that fear, because that fear is really tearing you from growth. Pay attention in athletic performance cuisine. Chef Sachs is a great chef, a great instructor, and he's filled with knowledge that really applies in a real life setting. Definitely pay attention over the first couple of days. That way you guys have the necessary knowledge on the macro and micronutrients so you can better explain and assess the athletes on their personal needs. Know how to food cost, plain and simple. Remember that when you're in a training table and if you're taking care of it yourself, you're gonna grow a lot. You're gonna become a lot better in certain things. But in order to become better in those things, you really need to be fast-minded. You need to be agile. You need to be able to solve issues on the spot. You need to be fast-paced, plan ahead, prep ahead, and really set yourself for success. And last but not least, develop a good clinical judgment. That's going to be essential for you guys to become better dietitians, better sports nutritionists. So if you guys know me, please go ahead and keep in touch. If not, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, or if you have any questions, please go ahead and shoot me an email. I also have a food blog if you guys would like to see my journey throughout this training table and my personal growth as a cook, as a culinarian. please go ahead and follow it. I'll be relaunching that here pretty soon. All links will be here down below. I'd like to thank everyone for watching this little video that I made. I would also like to thank Chef Sachs for asking me to make this video. It's been a pleasure to make it, and I hope that what I just shared with you guys, my experience and points, really helps you in the future to be better prepared for a real life setting, training table. But remember, all the stuff that I just told you is more the positive than the negative. There are also negatives that happen, here and there. So don't let those things get to you. Learn from them, absorb what you can from the negative stuff, and let the rest go. So yeah, until next time.